So I've come to realize in trying to make these YouTube videos that trying to do magic things probably is never going to work for me. Magic happens sometimes all by itself. So I just take to where I carry this camera with me everywhere I go. Been cutting wood this morning and decided to go take a little trip down the road here, some place I haven't been in a while. And I brought the camera. Therefore, I brought you guys along for the ride. How's that for cool? This is D.W. Verts, Hickbilly Outdoors. Hang around and we'll do some hanging around. How's that? So, what I'm doing today is a little bit of nothing, which is good because it's also a little bit of something. This shelter was professionally excavated, I don't know, probably in the 50s. A lot of it was done around here by the University of Missouri. But they don't do a very good job, and I have found stuff here. I haven't been up here forever, but these holes are mine. And I need to get up here and do some more digging. There's a mussel shell right there. You find a lot of mussel shells in these places because people cooked a lot of mussels. Anyway, this thing runs down through here for quite a ways. But what I'm doing is I'm just scouting. And this happened to be on my way. Thought you might like to see this place. Isn't that pretty? Creek bottom way over there. I think the creek used to run on this side of the field up against this bluff. Look at that big old rock busted off the side of that thing. I mean, that thing is, it's huge. It's the size of a bulldozer. So anyway, I'm scouting. I'm not really scouting arrowhead hunting, except that I just passed two fields coming in that have been turned over good and deep again, which is wonderful. But they're big, chunky, monkey, hard walking, no rain's been on them yet, again. So I have that to go up against. So I'm also going down to the creek here. I'm going to look for some beaver sign, see what's going on with the critters. Because that's what I do. When I have chance, when I have some free time, I do a lot of walking, a lot of looking. Sometimes too much driving, not enough walking. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head down here to the creek and we're going to look for some beaver sign. Maybe look around the edge of them plowed fields for some arrowheads. But I'm scouting, looking, feeling, trying to enjoy the day. So folks, I know I'm kind of boring, I guess, but it's just what I do. I'm just a jack around. Everything outdoors, I like to do it all. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe. Let me know. Tell me what you want to see. I got so many things I want to get done. I got some things that are going to blow some people away, I hope. But just let me know. And like I say, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe. Appreciate it. So for you folks that like my arrowhead hunting videos and are finding out this really isn't going to be an arrowhead hunting video, don't turn off yet, please. There's some things might happen. Because when God smiles on you, and the planets and the sun all line up right, you never know what might happen. And I found my best ever whole Scotch bluff right over there several years ago. We're in the right stuff. I'm gonna peek over this creek banko and see what's going on with the beaver. Climb down in here in just a second. See what's changed since last year. That's the big thing. And I see a woolly mess. So I'm going to climb down that creek bottom, and while I'm looking for beaver, I might look for arrowheads. See how this stuff works out? There's a plan here. Well, not really, but there's something going on. You know, if I don't live in God's country, I'm at least renting property right next door to it. Look at here. Isn't this pretty? And look at that beaver dam right there. That's new. That wasn't there last year, so I know I got the sun wrong here, but look at that pretty creek. And I can see from here, right there, and right there. Now I know deer are using that too, but those beaver go up in that cornfield and taking my landowner's corn all year. Plus, again, it's a beaver scouting, otter, muskrat, whatever. It's also artifact scouting because we're in a creek bottom. It's just like magic for a guy like me. This is what I live for, folks. Throw some fishing in and I'm a happy camper. So all of a sudden now I'm looking down at the ground because I have found a load of artifacts in this creek. Man, look at this. Caught a beaver and otter right here last year. Another beaver right here around the corner. Look, isn't that pretty? That's a big old dam. That's a monster dam for this part of the country. You never see dams that big. The reason being, I'm sure, is we've had no rain. What you're seeing here is mostly spring water. Almost exclusively. We just have not had any rain at all. We're dry. Look at corn shucks right here in the water. That's beaver still dragging corn down in the field. Oh, this is going to be fun. They don't stand a chance with me and my buddy after them. And this hole of water has never been this big, ever, which makes me think that right down there, I think that's another beaver dam. It's not all that deep. There's some deeper stuff in it. That's close to 3 foot deep down there. Come on, zoom out. Really green, slimed up. Well, there's some bass swimming around. Golly, what a beautiful, beautiful day. It's chilly, 50 something maybe, but dadgum. If I had just left that camera on another second, my heart's back. I just jumped a cottontail rabbit out of that right there, which you'll never see rabbits in these creek bottoms. Man, he was loud going up through there. He's a big one too. That was just freaking cool right there. Okay, I'm at the other end of that long pool, and yes, there's another beaver dam. It's another very large beaver dam. It's actually dammed up 2 little spots here. So technically, that's the size we usually have. It's just all one dam built across there. Backed up a lot of water. Interesting. Cool. Now, here's a little history lesson, engineering lesson. I got the sun looking right where I need to be. Anyway, I want to try to explain something. Because beaver are like the coolest, absolutely neatest critters on planet Earth. They're just, the things they can do. Years ago, there was a study, I think it was out west, a college study, maybe engineering students. There was a pile of them given basic, very simple tools. I don't know what. There wasn't no chainsaws, I don't believe. And were instructed to build a dam that was as good as a beaver dam, and they could not do it. Modern ingenuity, technology could not make a dam like that holds back water. They sure couldn't do it in a day's time like a beaver can. Cool critters, neat critters. But, that being said, they've also changed the landscape so many times over the years, and they do so much damage. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Where I'm standing right here, just 4 years ago, is where that bank was. About right here. Probably, I don't remember, 15 years ago, that bank was right about in here. Years ago, the creek ran down through there. And I'll about guarantee you what happened was Beaver building dams like these two right here, 110 yards apart, change the flow of that water, change that direction. And once that starts, it's hard to stop. It's making that water eat that way. And there are acres and acres and acres on this creek alone every year lost to damage from beaver. And once it starts, it's hard to fix because it's over there now. It's never going to go back that way. It takes major floods, whatever. We've had some big floods, and it just keeps cutting into those banks. And a creek's always trying to straighten itself out, and the beaver help it. But, so as cool as they are, as wonderful as they are, they do a lot of damage. And you Arrowhead people still with me, or we lose you? I ain't giving up yet. Definitely been hit on. Got the striations, been tumbled around a lot, got some worked edge on it, but definitely a flake. I saw that after I turned the camera on, so there's a piece there too. I think there's a little heat treated, look at this. That rock's almost been melted by fire. Turned it red. See, it's got some napped edges. It was part of something bigger, but that fire got that one good. That's cool, right there by each other. There's a little bit more bare gravel here. I'm gonna do a little walk around here before I call it quits. I said it's part of the magic of it, folks. There's a bass up there too. Give me a fishing rod, and I probably would never go back home. It's always hard on me when I get in these creek bottoms with potential for trapping stuff to happen, fishing stuff to happen, and always artifact stuff can happen. Man, look at the old busted core, whatever. See, flakes drawed off of it. That's how you know. It's almost like it was nads or tried to be. See those flakes? Actual flakes drawed off. Not pretty, but hit by man at one time or another. Probably 7,322 years ago. But again, it's hard to decide what to do. I'll come down here trapping. I'll spend 2 hours artifact hunting. Same thing fishing. So artifact hunting always takes up a fair amount of time. And I always feel guilty if I don't spend some time looking for stuff. Of course, you get out of your system after a day or so in the same spot, kinda. And right over there, muskrat. That's cool. I just saw that. We don't have a lot of muskrats here. The otter, hawks, and owls, they like that muskrat meat. That's tender stuff. And my buddy's never trapped mink or rats. I got him on beaver and otter a couple years ago. He's got real good at that. But we always start too late in the season when everything's ending. This is what we call around here a bullnose adze. It's a pretty sad example of one, but it's what it is. It was a uni-face side to start with. Boy, a big old flake drawed off there. Some little flakes drawed off right there. Got that bull nose, actually both ends. It was probably a one-time tool. And I'm not so sure that's not petrified wood. Boy, it ain't much, but still, I gotta pick that stuff up. That's just cool. Y'all might find this interesting. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just boring. I don't care. I used to drive in about where that biggest sycamore tree is. Used to be able to drive all the way down to the gravel bar. Boy, that's changed. But the interesting thing is here is the creek goes down there and dead ends, which it did 10, 15 years ago, but then it jumped across and went on down. What it does now is it turns around and goes backwards, a big old S-turn, before it turns and goes back downstream. Explain that one to me. It turns around and goes backwards. See, that's the kind of things that just freak me the heck right out. We're probably 150 or 60 yards below where that first beaver dam was. I always find this interesting. This is where the creek turns around, heads back south before going back north over there. There's probably half or less the water flow here that there was up at that beaver dam. Half or less the water is going through right here as was going through up there. You know why that is? Well, all these creeks are losing creeks. The water flows as much underground as it does above ground. And what's happening is that water that's getting trapped over there is actually diving underneath that big gravel bar. And when you get on downstream, another 250 yards, the water flows right back up to where it was. You know, you got to make some of this content up as you go, because there's not enough going on to keep you guys interested. I got to come up with something once in a while. I don't know if the camera shows how clear and pretty that water is. It's even clearer than the creek right down there because this is a spring. There's a little bit of breeze. If you sit there and you really look, you can see the water coming up through the leaves and through the gravel. Just showing you. Just pretty stuff. Whew. So I just climbed out of that creek bottom. Sure is pretty. I'll walk back up for the truck. I'm going to look at maybe one thing, and I may walk a corner. Look at this. Debitage. Look at that. Right there on top of the ground in the leaves. Y'all see that? I guess. Okay. Whatever. It's just what happens when you live amongst it. I'm going to said those fields up there have been dug pretty deep, but no rain, so I'm going to just stop and look at a corner of it real quick and see if there's anything worth looking at. Sorry if it's boring you guys. This is my life. No reality TV show or whatever. I'm going to just keep doing what I do, and if something comes up, maybe I'll have a camera handy and with me to record it. So I'm about a quarter mile downstream from where I got to a few minutes ago. I don't know if y'all can see how much that creek bank is eat out. It's just tremendous. But I got me another beaver dam, another big beaver dam. Again, I'm sure it's because of the dry weather. They're trying to hold some water back for winter. This should be another family group from those up there. Quite a bit more exposed gravel. I have something to do down here. Look at all that gravel. Okay, I'm going to go look at one more spot up here for some artifacts and maybe some more scouting for critters. But interesting. Never seen so many big dams on this creek. Heck, on any creek around here. That's all good. But look at that. I think I'm actually standing almost, yeah, ooh. Okay, that's enough of that. Well, folks, that's going to do it for this time. Appreciate y'all watching. Especially y'all watch all my BS for as long as I do it. My videos always run long. I don't care. It's just what I do. Got more things to do. More artifact hunting. Hopefully some more deer hunting stuff. I got a big deer hunting thing I'm working on. It may be more than I can handle. Such a pretty day. I hate to go back to work, but I'm going to have to do that. Thank y'all a bunch. God bless you. I'm Dale Verts. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe thing, whatever. We'll talk at you again pretty soon.